Well, hello there, folks. We are in Stockton, California. What a place. It's right here in the beautiful San Joaquin Valley. You know, this city has water all around it. The San Joaquin River Delta is right nearby. That's a whole lot of water, and it was super important. It meant boats could come right up to the town. Imagine that, an inland port. It's amazing how geography shapes a place, isn't it? This location was just perfect for a town to grow. Yes, sir, a perfect spot for California's gold. Now, long before any towns were built by settlers, this land was home to the Yokuts people. That's right. They lived here for thousands of years. They understood this land, the rivers, the Tula marshes. They had their own villages and their own way of life. It's important to remember them, you know. This was their home first. They saw the seasons change, the waters rise and fall. They lived with the rhythm of the land. What an incredible history right under our feet. It's truly something to think about. Then a fellow named Captain Charles M. Weber came along. He was a German immigrant, full of dreams. He saw something special in this land. In the early 1840s, he got a big land grant from the Mexican government. We're talking thousands of acres. He had a vision, folks. He wanted to build a town, a real community. He wasn't just thinking small, he was thinking big. It took a lot of courage to start something new like that way out here. That's the California spirit for you. So Captain Weber started his first settlement. He called it Tuliburg. Can you guess why? Because there were tules everywhere. Those are those tall grassy plants you see in marshy areas, and boy, was this area marshy. It was flat, it was wet, and when it rained, oh boy, it got muddy. Really muddy. Building a town here was going to be a challenge, that's for sure. But Weber was determined. He knew this spot close to the river had amazing potential. He just had to work with what Mother Nature gave him. Now let's talk about that mud. Because of all that water and the flat land, especially during the rainy winter months, the ground would get incredibly soft and mucky. People started calling Weber's little settlement Mudville. That's right, Mudville. It wasn't exactly a glamorous name, was it? Wagons would get stuck. Folks would trudge through sticky, gooey mud just to get around. It was a messy situation, but an honest one. It really described what early life was like here. You can just picture it, can't you? What a start. As more people started arriving, especially with whispers of gold in the air, Captain Weber knew Mudville wouldn't do. You can't attract serious businesses and families with a name like Mudville. He wanted a proper name for his growing town, a name that sounded important, a name with respect. He was laying out streets, planning for the future. This wasn't just some temporary camp, this was going to be a real city. He needed a name that reflected that ambition. It was time for a change, a big one. Around this time, the Mexican-American War was happening. It was a big deal for California, and one of the important American figures in that war was Commodore Robert F. Stockton. He was a naval officer, a real leader. He played a key role in securing California for the United States. He was known for being decisive and for his service to the country. His name carried weight and authority. People knew who he was and what he stood for. He was a national figure, that's for sure. So in 1849, Captain Weber decided to rename his town. He chose to honor Commodore Robert F. Stockton. And just like that, Tuliburg or Mudville officially became Stockton. What a great choice. It sounded strong, it sounded important, and it connected the new town to a national hero. This new name signaled a new beginning. It showed that Stockton was ready to be a serious player in this rapidly changing land of California. It was a name for a city with a future. Amazing. Oh boy, then came the gold rush. 1948, gold was discovered at Sutter's Mill, and wouldn't you know it, Stockton was in the perfect spot. It was one of the main gateways to the southern mines. All those hopeful miners, thousands of them heading up to find their fortune, they had to pass through here. They needed supplies, they needed food, they needed a place to rest before heading into the gold fields. Stockton became a beehive of activity almost overnight. It was incredible, the energy here. Suddenly, Stockton wasn't just a little settlement anymore, it was a boom town. People came from all over America, from Europe, from China, from South America, all hoping to strike it rich. The town exploded in size. Tents and wooden shacks popped up everywhere. Businesses opened left and right, general stores, saloons, hotels, blacksmith shops. The riverbanks were crowded with steamboats and sailing ships, all bringing in goods and more people. It was an exciting, chaotic, and transformative time. California's gold rush was in full swing, and Stockton was right in the middle of it. With all those people and all that business, Stockton started to see some real prosperity. Money was flowing. New, sturdier buildings began to replace the temporary ones. Wharves and warehouses were built along the waterfront to handle all the goods. The town was becoming a vital commercial hub. Farmers in the surrounding areas found a ready market for their crops, feeding the hungry miners. Stockton was growing up fast, becoming a real economic engine for the region. It was amazing to see how quickly things could change with a little bit of gold. But folks, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. With so many people rushing in and so much money changing hands, there were problems too. Boom towns were often rough places. There was lawlessness, gambling, and sometimes violence. Keeping order was a huge challenge. Imagine all those different people, all looking for fortune, all crammed together. It could be a dangerous mix. Stockton had its share of growing pains, that's for sure. It was a wild, untamed period, but it shaped the character of the city. It truly did. Now, being by a river means water, and sometimes too much water. Stockton faced some big challenges from Mother Nature. There were major floods, like the Great Flood of 1862, that put much of California underwater. Imagine your whole town flooded. These events were devastating, washing away homes and businesses. But the people of Stockton, they were resilient. They rebuilt. They learned to manage the waters better over time. They didn't give up. That's the spirit of California, always bouncing back, always looking forward. It's something special. By 1910, Stockton had really transformed. It wasn't just a rough gold rush town anymore. It had grown into an important agricultural center. Think of all the amazing produce from the San Joaquin Valley. Stockton was a key shipping point for all that bounty, thanks to its inland port. It had established institutions, schools, hospitals, and beautiful Victorian architecture. It was becoming a more settled, more civilized place. It had paved streets and streetcars too. What a journey from those early muddy days. It's truly remarkable. So when you look at Stockton, you see a city built on dreams and determination. From Captain Weber's first vision to the craziness of the gold rush, and then to becoming a strong agricultural heartland. It's a story of change, of challenges, and of incredible growth. The legacy of those early pioneers, the hustle of the gold rush, and the bounty of the land all came together to make Stockton what it is. It's a true piece of California's gold, this city's history. It really is. And let me tell you, a lot happened in those early years. Back in 1845, Captain Weber got his land grant. By 1847, he started Tullaberg. Then, bam, 1848, gold was discovered, and Stockton became the place to be for supplies. In 1849, it got its official name. California became a state in 1850, and Stockton was incorporated that same year, but also had a big flood. Then, in 1855, the Stockton State Hospital opened, the first public hospital for the mentally ill in California. That's a big deal. Another huge flood hit in 1862. The 1870s saw a big agricultural boom, calling it the Sunrise Seaport. They even got their first telephone exchange in 1878. There was a financial panic in 1893 that affected everyone. And in 1906, after the big San Francisco earthquake, Stockton helped out its neighbor. By 1910, the city was well on its way, a real cornerstone of the valley. What a timeline. If you enjoyed this journey through Stockton's incredible history, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel Choppin_Game_209, and join our community for even more amazing stories and exclusive content. We'd love to have you as part of our growing family, so hit that subscribe button and become a member today. Thanks for watching.